KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Itanu program. Cars Plus reminds you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam, IP&E, Fueling Excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And steaks, ribs, seafood, and our famous fresh garden bar, Ruby Tuesday. Good times you can taste.
Coming up tonight on Primetime, one of your elected senators is calling for accountability of all games of chance at the Liberation Carnival. Chris Barnett has that report. Plus, Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield has been selected as the new president of the Naval War College. And Tomas Manglotnia has the latest on the need for foster families right here on the island.
Half day and good evening. Senator Talina Nelson is calling for accountability for the Liberation Carnival's games of chance. Chris Barnett has more.
Hate to say I told you so. Senator Talina Nelson, one of the legislature's staunchest gambling opponents, says not even 2 weeks into operation, the casino at the carnival is already a cause for concern. The casino, found in violation of rules and regs on opening day when cash was found on a table. Revenue Tax Director Daphne Shimizu tells KUAM News there will be no fine issued for that violation. Meanwhile, Nelson says one of the first promises mayors made about the casino has already been broken.
There was promises made that the casino would not be on carnival grounds. Now all of a sudden it's on carnival grounds.
Nelson also mentions KUAM News reports that Mangwang Totu Mighty Mayor Rudy Paco and Barragata Vice Mayor Jesse Bautista are listed as part of big and small bid winner Jonathan Say's team. Say's father, Jimmy Say, was convicted by the feds and sentenced to 2 years in jail for his role in a major illegal gambling operation at the MGM Grand Spa. Several other members of Games of Chance winning bid teams have ties to past illegal gambling operations, while others, like Suo Gyo Kwan, have been fined for prior Liberation Casino violations. But since their names aren't listed as the primary bidders, they're still able to reap gambling profits.
What kind of message are we sending to our people? Corruption is okay, as long as we find the loophole to corruption?
Mayor's Council Executive Director Angel Sablan says this is an issue he wants to look at for the casino and Games of Chance rules and regs at next year's carnival.
I'd like to revisit it and make it even more stringent if we have to.
But if Senator Nelson has her way, mayors shouldn't get too far ahead of themselves in planning for gambling at next year's Liberation festivities.
I'm going to fight that they don't have any casino again next year.
Nelson, meanwhile, also says mayors like Paco and Bautista shouldn't be part of a bidding organization. Sablan maintains that Paco and Bautista won't share in any profits made at the carnival, but their names are right there in black and white as being responsible parties for the big and small winning bid. And Sablan says it's not a conflict of interest.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gamblers either. They're just there to support. They're part of that organization that has to bid.
So Mayor Paco and Vice Mayor Bautista are part of the Jonathan Say's organization?
Yes, yes.
Sablan also telling KUAM News bidding organizations have been vetted by Revenue Tax, but Revenue Tax head Daphne Shimizu tells KUAM only license holders for Games of Chance, not those listed as money backers or responsible parties, were vetted by DRT for tax liabilities. Meanwhile, Nelson says later is not the time to address carnival gambling red flags.
It shows a level of complacency. We need to address this issue right away.
At the end of the day, Nelson tells KUAM News elected leaders push hard for the casino not because it benefits the public, but because it deals a winning hand to a select few.
Those select few have influence.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Calling it an historic choice, Navy Secretary Richard Spencer announced this weekend that Commander Joint Region Marianas Rear Admiral Shoshana Chatfield will be the new president of the Naval War College. She is the first woman to head the prestigious school, which was established in 1884. In a statement, the secretary called Chatfield the embodiment of the type of warrior scholar we need to lead this storied institution as it educates our next generation of leaders. About 300 of today's active duty admirals, generals, and senior executive service leaders are alumni. Chatfield, who's been commander of Joint Region Marianas since January of 2017, released a statement saying she was humbled by the selection and that it's been an honor serving with the military and civilian communities in Guam. A spokesman says the admiral was traveling and not available for further comment. More ancient Chamorro artifacts discovered today at the site of what will be the live fire training range access road in Machinao. State Historic Preservation Officer Linda Uggan tells KUAM her office was notified of the site's discovery this afternoon. This marks the fourth site since May to be discovered by the military on build-up construction sites. A letter from Marine Corps Activity Guam to Uggan dated June 17th says Latte period ceramic shatters and a broken basalt lusung have been discovered. The MCAG archaeologist called the findings significant. Uggan says she toured some of the sites last week and was surprised to see that artifacts at one site had already been removed. She also found an ancient Chamorro axe or freshly broken at the site. In an email to military parties, Uggan asks that artifacts from this latest site not be removed, as her office has not yet approved a work plan to address this latest site. Facing a felony charge in another case and pleading guilty to criminal trespass in another, a 49-year-old man is busted again. Leonidas Regis Gadia is accused of trying to break into a house in Assen on June 15th. When police arrived, Gadia got away, but the victim and police noticed him nearby trying to break into another home. He was spotted climbing down a ladder. He fled, but police eventually caught him. Gadia was arrested and charged with criminal trespass. Two men arrested for a fight that broke out in Estumbo. When police responded to the disturbance, they found 32-year-old Romeo Moon inside a truck. He was bleeding profusely from 3 cuts to his face. He told police officers that he didn't know what happened. Police officers, however, conducted other interviews. Witnesses said he had gotten into a fight with 41-year-old Jermaine Pangilinan Salas. Both were charged with family violence and assault by mutual combat. 35-year-old Jeffrey Narita Lizama has been linked to several cases of stolen copper wire and aluminum. According to court documents, the cases date as far back as April of 2017. He was connected to a case in which he allegedly scammed a local recycling center out of more than $4,000 worth of copper wire. In other instances, he was linked to stolen copper wire and aluminum conduits that were property of GPA and GWA. Lizama was charged with criminal mischief, criminal trespass, and theft. Drug defendant Dexter Long arraigned in district court today. It's interesting to note that although he wanted to enter a guilty plea, the court entered a not guilty plea. The reason for that, without knowing if Long was making an intelligent entry, it decided to enter the guilty plea or the not guilty plea at this time. Trial was set for August 12th. Additionally, a motion for Long's release was denied. The court also ordered the government to produce a plea agreement. Long was recently indicted on federal drug charges connected to 1,000 gross grams of the drug ice. Dates for future town hall meetings on village safety have been finalized. The meetings are being held in light of the machete attack that occurred in Manguilao 2 weeks ago. The first meeting was held in the village last week. According to the governor's office, the next meeting will be held next Wednesday, June 26th at the Tamuning Community Center, followed by another meeting at the Dededo Senior Citizen Center on Wednesday, July 3rd. Both meetings begin at 6 p.m. Amid the final touches on the Barrigada Group foster home founded by the Regalu Foundation, Public Health put out a special recruitment call for more foster families, and Senator Therese Terlahi and Senator Mary Torres introduced a bill to increase the building's capacity to address the more than 200 foster children in need. Tomas Manglotnya reports.
In dire need of a loving and stable foster home. That's what the Department of Public Health and Social Services says Guam's 270 foster children need immediately. Administrator for Child Protective Services at DPHSS, Linda Rodriguez.
We've asked our foster parents to take in children, but of course we don't have any more foster homes, so we try to place them in our group homes, which is our Ollie shelter for children or sanctuary, but those facilities are also filled.
The shelters are meant to be for emergency situations. However, children have stayed there from 6 months to a year. Some 49 children reside with the island's 33 licensed foster families. 123 children live with relatives or family friends. Foster care licensing social worker Grace Iwashita.
We have foster parents who, they try it and they decide it's for them. But then we also have other families who, after maybe trying it once, they decide maybe it's not for them. But really, what you can do is try.
To become a foster family requires an individual to be of at least 18 years of age, receive a court clearance, and undergo a few screenings. They know that GovGuam covers the child's health insurance, and the family is given a monthly stipend based on the child's age. Grants for child care are also available. This group home for foster children under construction is addressing the need for more foster families. While the number of foster children continues to increase. The final touches on the DPHSS group home in Barragata come amid the introduction of Bill 159-35 by Senator Teresa Lahi and Senator Mary Torres. It will grant the director of DPHSS the ability to increase the facility's capacity. The idea for the bill started last term and was motivated by the case of a 4-year-old girl who was raped while her family sought shelter in an abandoned building.
It's easy for us to kind of look the other way, but really we can't anymore. There are just so many children in need that we can't. So we need foster homes. We have to do whatever we can to help support them.
She says that expanding the group home by twofold is a possibility. As other shelters continue to be at capacity, she lauds current foster families for their inspiration.
We've pulled together and we've got a facility now, thanks to many people, including the Regalo Foundation. But we have a facility and there's a lot of hope. I'm hoping that at least children can be safe while they sleep.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Maglotnya.
Thanks, Tomas. Stay tuned. We're back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
The next generation Galaxy has arrived. See it and believe it. The Infinity O display is the most innovative Galaxy screen yet. Capture the wider world. Take stunning photos with a 123-degree field of vision. Use your phone to charge other wireless charging devices. Don't just stand out, stand apart.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Ah, the Netherlands, home of the Stroopwafel McFlurry from McDonald's. A mix of delicious vanilla soft serve and caramel waffle cookie pieces. But to get one, you'd have to sneak out of the office, dig out your luggage, wait for boarding group 12, figure out what that means, take a train, take a boat, take a bike, and finally order one. Or get to your neighborhood McDonald's now, because for a limited time, worldwide favorites are here. Around the world is now around the corner.
Welcome back. 75 years after the liberation of Guam, the remains of Japanese soldiers killed in World War II are finally making their way home. Chris Barnett has more.
They're coming home. The remains of 16 Japanese soldiers killed on Guam during World War II have officially been handed over to the Japanese government, and they'll be making their way back to the country. Acting Japan Consulate Osama Ogata tells KUAM News the repatriation of the remains has been a long time coming.
The soul of Japanese soldiers will finally be able to go home and rest in peace.
The war dead unearthed during infrastructure projects in Agate and Matapang. Archaeologist David DeFont performed the excavation of the remains. Another soldier's remains were discovered in the Nimitz Hill area. The Japanese government paid for the studying of these remains, which included extensive DNA testing. The remains, found in agate in 2016, were unearthed in what appeared to be a bomb crater as crews worked on a sewer line project in the village. The Matapeng remains, discovered in 2003 during the Tumon Bay Drainage Improvement Project. Through extensive archaeological work, DeFont was able to share with us how one of the soldiers died.
This bullet here, you can see it's flattened, and this was recovered from this soldier right here. And we believe this was the cause of death. It was found with the bone and with a shattered femur, leg bone. So we believe that is the likely cause of death.
Guam was occupied by Japanese forces during World War II. DeFont also showing us buttons, buckles, and other artifacts discovered with the remains, while Ogata expressed his gratitude for the transfer.
Related families will be happy to see them return home as well, I think. And thank you again for Guam people and for the government of Guam.
The transfer taking place at the Guam Historic Preservation Office in Agatnia Heights. Also on hand, Department of Chamorro Affairs head Anne-Marie Arceo. Arceo used the transfer of remains to highlight the way the military currently treats ancient Chamorro artifacts discovered during build-up construction. Arceo said Chamorros must demand the military treat ancestral artifacts and remains with dignity and respect, the same way we treated the remains of these Japanese soldiers. Arceo also urging leaders to push for a more noble process for dealing with the discovery and removal of cultural and historical properties from military sites.
We must stand up for taking care of our history also and what belongs to us. It's time that we step it up and begin to do something and get more involved.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Give an ex-con a good job and it might keep him out of future trouble. That's the idea behind a new grant from the U.S. Department of Labor, dubbed by the local DOL as Chagi Tatlu, or Try Again. Director David Delasola says it's designed to encourage employers to take a chance on former criminal offenders by mitigating some of the risks.
And basically what this is this is an insurance policy, a fidelity bond, that basically helps cover the employer for any losses and risks for hiring these offenders.
He says statistics show Guam has a very high 46% rate of offenders recommitting crimes after they get out of prison. But he says companies should know that those who find long-term employment have a significant reduction in their recidivism rate.
This is another layer to add that gives them another chance to try to take a risk on these people and crack that vicious cycle of reoffending that we keep seeing out there in our public, and I know that everybody's concerned about that.
Guam was the only territory to receive a grant. Delasola says if the $100,000 can help 10 to 20 ex-offenders a year find steady work, that means that many more people not committing crimes. Another case of pertussis, or whooping cough, has been confirmed by public health. This brings the total to 2 cases in the past 2 months. Whooping cough is extremely contagious. The latest confirmed case involves a 4-month-old child. Public health is conducting an investigation to determine the source of the exposure. Healthcare providers are urged to be on alert for pertussis cases and to report them to the agency. Expect some delays in and around Naval Base Guam from June 24th through the 28th during Exercise Citadel Pacific 2019. According to the Navy, the annual Anti-Terrorism Force Protection Exercise is designed to enhance the training, readiness, and capability of Navy security forces to effectively respond to threats. The Navy says they've taken measures to reduce disruptions during the exercise. However, you could see increased traffic around bases or delays in base access. Area residents may also see or hear security activities associated with it. 2 Guam Department of Education students are in Annapolis, Maryland this week attending the U.S. Naval Academy Summer STEM program. Ukadu High School students Carissa Lazaga and Basil Garcia were selected for the week-long program, where they'll be working in world-class lab facilities and experiencing real-life applications in the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The U.S. Naval Academy is one of the leading undergraduate engineering programs in the country, according to DOE. The students were each given travel and tuition scholarships to attend. And with regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI. It's the Long-Term Legal Residence Relief Act, introduced by Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan. H.R. 59 will provide permanent status to over 1,000 people here in the CNMI, if also passed by the U.S. Senate. Governor Ralph Torres is asking the chairman of Energy and Natural Resources Committee, Lisa Murkowski, for support in the urgency of being passed in legislation. Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan introduced the Northern Mariana Islands Long-Term Legal Residence Relief Act back in January after President Donald Trump ended the humanitarian parole program. The permanent status program was approved by the U.S. House of Representatives for those who have been living in the islands under humanitarian parole that was granted by the Obama administration. Parolees have until June 29th to either leave the Marianas or adjust their immigration status if the bill is not passed by the Senate and signed by President Donald Trump. The bill covers 5 categories of individuals who have been living in the Marianas for decades. To be eligible, an individual also has to have lived in the Marianas since before the federal immigration was extended to the islands. A release states that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services reported back in December that there were 1,039 individuals who were granted parole and could be covered by Sablan's bill. Governor Ralph Torres has been in communication with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on the issue, and this is the path that was recommended. For more news, visit SaipanTV.com. For KSPN 2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Back to news here at home this morning. The Guam Visitors Bureau welcomed the Haagen-Dazs team to take the Hafa-Day pledge to promote our island's culture and share the Hafa-Day spirit throughout their business operations. Haagen-Dazs joins over 500 companies and organizations in taking the pledge, representing a commitment and responsibility to the community. Shop manager Nikki Mesa says they look forward to spreading the Hafa-Day spirit through all their shops.
Well, we had the pledge for a long time. It's just we only had it for this shop. And now we want to have it for all 4 of the shops that we had opened up just recently.
Along with their location in Fiesta Resort, Haagen-Dazs has shops in the Micronesia Mall, the Plaza in Tumon, and the Guam Premier Outlet. Stay tuned, sports is coming up next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Make every day a plus.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Nacho Fries Chasing Gold strikes all the right chords. Powerful, gripping, delicious, says the Hollywood Reporter. Critics can't get enough of Nacho Fries. And if you can't either, get Nacho Fries at Taco Bell today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I'll get to some footage from Island Twisters gymnastics demo that was recently held at the Micronesia Mall in just a bit. But first off, news on 671 Recruiting. Check it out. 671 Recruiting is a nonprofit organization that offers college prep workshops for parents, coaches, training and safety classes, college combines for all sports. They also will be assisting in bringing college coaches and recruiters to visit.
We have a saying, slow feet don't eat. So, we're really working on footwork. Very happy to announce that we're launching a private org for Guam 671 Recruiting to do the things that I've already been doing, but this way we can get out and help more kids out in the community. And so we're going to be moving out and doing the grind at different locations, not at Guam High, because sometimes that presents a set of problems for folks who can't get on base or whatever. So even if we have to go down to E-Pow Beach, a public space, we're just trying to get kids out of the house and letting them grind and letting them work and helping them to be better people.
The organization will be setting up this Saturday at 9 in the morning in front of Jimmy D's. Workouts will run from 9 to 11 in the morning.
While everyone's sleeping, they're putting in work, they're coming out here hungry, and everyone's competing, man. I love it. The talent looks good, everyone's working, can't complain. Man, we just try to share to them that everyone's playing football, that we have to do more. We got to put in the extra work on the Saturdays, two-a-days, whatever it is. We got to put in the extra work. Everyone's playing football, but it's whatever makes you stand out at the end of the day. So, man, got to focus on the grades at first and then put this extra work in on the field.
The Cruz brothers will be on island for a few more weeks. Nico and Noah will be soaking in the culture and spending time with family. They plan on giving back as much as they can while they're here and to share their stories with anybody who wants to listen. The Cruz brothers are high school state champions in Georgia and now play collegiate football, repping the 671.
We have what it takes. We're blessed with what it takes to be big, In the sport of football, we're blessed with the hunger, tenacity, the grind, the work ethic. We're blessed with all that, and to know that you have that in you and it is possible to make it. I want to shout out my pops, my family back in Georgia. They raised us to be how we are and to grind and to work. That way we can share our blessings with our brothers out here.
Island Twisters recently held their 2019 Micronesia Mall gymnastics demonstration with over 120 gymnasts participating in the performance. Students performed their gymnastics routines and demonstrated their acro and tumbling skills. Medals and awards were given out according to their gymnastics level. Gymnasts that participated in the event ranged from level 1 through level 6. They also participated in an obstacle course at the mall. The obstacle course involved vaulting and jumping in the air off a mini trampoline, also demonstrating different kinds of jumps and flips. The advanced gymnasts ended the show with cross tumbling and a team gymnastics dance. Island Twisters will be accepting new students for their summer gymnastics program that will begin June 24th. Ages 6 to 14 years old are welcome to sign up. The program is an 8-week session and involves training for gymnastic skills on the vault,